right, hello everybody. Thank you for joining. I am Riley with the T Storm Chasers, and we're going to take a look at your forecast. But before we do, here is a brief word from our sponsors at Cube Portable Storage.
What are you doing?
Decluttering?
Moving? Remodeling? In need of temporary storage, emergency cleanup, or just need to declutter? Cube Portable Storage has the perfect solution. Rent your Cube Portable Storage container today.
And don't forget, they got roll-off dumpsters for the other stuff. Call Cube Storage for all your moving needs.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Today is Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026. Let's go ahead and jump into our latest video. And I wanted to go ahead and look firstly at our future radar outlook. And playing this out, wanted to give you guys an idea of what you can expect here over the next several days. If we play out the rest of today, there are some lingering snow showers out there. I know Sioux Falls has been seeing some snowflakes out there this afternoon. Those are expected to go away as we pivot towards the evening. And then as we head into tomorrow, there's not a whole lot to go over. Really, we're entering a quiet period of weather overall. So we're not really seeing much here on the radar picture. As we head into Thursday, again, not seeing anything across our region. You're going to notice a theme of this forecast, and that is it is going to be pretty quiet overall. We do not see anything in the forecast. So throughout this week, we don't see anything. It's going to be a dry period of weather overall. And as we head into your weekend, more of the same. We don't see anything in the forecast. So this week ahead, we are going to be quiet out there. We're going to be dry. We're not going to see anything. Not seeing any big systems, nothing. Now, next week, starting on Monday, another day of the same. It's going to be quiet and calm out there. Tuesday looks more of the same. We don't see anything. Now, I do want to say, once we get towards Tuesday night into Wednesday, this is where we could start to see any kind of activity at all. Could be next Tuesday into Wednesday. Across western South Dakota, as you can see here, with a mainly snow, but a mixed precip outlook here. Now, this is still quite a ways out. The models are, over a week out. Usually, it's hard to say for sure what's going to happen. The models, when you're over a week out, usually are not correct. Not all the time, but mostly not correct, unless it's like a bigger, major system. So take this with a grain of salt, but the European model is suggesting some snow out in the west as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. That's taking us out to the 10th and 11th of February. And if we play it out a little bit farther, Wednesday across South Dakota, there could be some mixed precip. And again, we're just going to continue to monitor this as we head throughout the rest of this week into the weekend, as things can change pretty quickly. So overall, though, we are looking at a dry, quiet period of weather. Now, looking at the temperature outlook, let's play this out. Today, again, we are warming slightly. In the central and eastern part of our region, we're going to be still fairly cold. Temperatures mainly in the teens and 20s. Out west, we're looking at warmer temperatures into the 40s. Tomorrow, it's going to be a similar forecast, 20s and 30s across the eastern and central region. And then out west, we're looking at temperatures warming into the 40s to low 50s. Now, Thursday is when we really start to notice a change. Thursday, we are looking at a very mild forecast overall. So you can expect temperatures near 50 degrees in Sioux Falls. Now that is a sharp contrast from what we've been seeing the past few weeks. We've been very cold. We've been dealing with the bitter, cold Arctic air from Canada. For areas out west, out towards Rapid City, we're going to be warming up into the 60s. Yes, that is correct. The 60s for daytime highs out west. That is way above average for this time of the year for early February. And Rapid City could hit 70 degrees. That is on the table for Thursday. So it's going to be a very warm day out west. So get out and enjoy that. And Friday, we are going to cool down a little bit. We're not going to be as warm as Thursday, but overall, all things considered, it's still going to be a nice day on Friday. For early February standards, where we should be around 30 degrees for this time of the year, we are going to be in the 40s and 50s. So we're still going to be above average for this time of the year. But as we look towards your weekend, look at this. More of the mild weather will continue for your weekend. 40s in the east and central regions, 50s to low 60s out west. Looks like a very nice day on Saturday. And then as we play out on Sunday, how about Super Bowl Sunday? Well, look at this. We are looking at very nice temperatures. We're looking at a very nice weather forecast, a very good Super Bowl forecast. Temperatures in the 50s and 60s for our region. Usually it's pretty cold on Super Bowl Sunday, right? But not this year. We're looking at a very warm forecast. So Super Bowl plans, you guys are good. We are looking at a very good forecast. 50s and 60s for daytime highs. We're not seeing any systems, not seeing any rain, no snow, nothing. It's going to be a nice day on Sunday. Now, next week, what are we looking at? By Monday, early next week, much of the same. We're looking at continuing the warm, mild air. Sioux Falls will be in the low 50s, it looks like, on Monday, that's about 20 degrees above average. So we're going to be way above average for this time of the year. 40s and 50s across our region on Monday. And then as we head into Tuesday, looks like more of the same, 40s and 50s for daytime highs next week. So looks like we're going to be continuing the warm air next week. Wednesday, middle of next week, we might dip a little bit back into the, 30s and 40s, but that's still above average for this time of the year. And we'll see what happens after that. As we head into later next week, the trend suggests that we're still going to be, continuing the warm, mild air. Temperatures probably somewhere in the 40s for daytime highs. So it does look like not only this week, but next week as well, we're looking at a pretty warm overall mild forecast. And now if we take a look at the maps provided by the NOAA, this is a 6 to 10 day temperature outlook for the United States. And as you can see, have a look at your screen. You can see the warm colored areas and the orange and red shaded areas. That is where we have the above average temperatures that's going to be found across mainly the central part of the U.S., but a large chunk of the United States is going to be warmer. And our region, you can see, we are looking at the same. We're looking at very warm, mild temperatures overall for this week and next week. So for the 1 to 2 week period, this takes us out to middle February. We're looking at very warm air overall. And if we look at the 8 to 14 day window, much of the same. It really looks about the same. Majority of the country is going to be seeing warmer temperatures, mild above average temperatures. And for our region, again, more of the same. The orange shaded areas, that means above average temperatures. So you can expect warmer temperatures as we head through mid-February. You can expect warm temperatures. After mid-February, once we get towards the second half of February, that's where it gets a little dicey at this point. There's not a lot of confidence in what's going to happen yet. Things can change very quickly. So, the jury is still out on the second half of February, but, at least the first half of February is going to be very much above average for temperatures. And now this map is a look at our precipitation outlook as we head into the 6 to 10 day window. That takes us out to, February 9th to February 13th. And we are looking at overall a bit of a indifference, I would say. The western half, it looks like, western half of the country, above average for precip, and the eastern part of the country looks to be near average or below average. And we're kind of in the middle ground. We're kind of in the middle. And I would say at this point, here's what I can say. We're not expecting any big or major systems moving through our region anytime soon, at least in the 1 to 2 week outlook. Basically, from now through mid February, we don't see any systems, any major systems pushing through our area. What this means is it looks like, we have the lighter green color on the map. That means slightly above normal for precip overall during that period. So what that means is there's probably going to be a couple of chances for some smaller systems to push through, more than likely next week. That's what we're looking at. That's what everything is suggesting. Again, we're not seeing any big time systems. We're looking at a couple of minor systems, disturbances pushing through our area. That's the more likely scenario and outcome there. And now if we look at the 8 to 14 day precip, you can see it changes a little bit. South of us and west of us of our region, we're looking at above average for precip. But for our area, we are going to be, this gray colored area is what's considered normal. That's near normal. So that's where we're going to be. We're going to be kind of in that normal for precip for the, what should be the average for this time of the year. And so overall, for the next 1 to 2 weeks, bottom line is we're not expecting any big time systems. We are expecting a normal outlook, and that would mean probably a couple of chances of disturbances pushing through, but nothing big. Okay, so now let's take a look at our 10-day forecasts for the Sioux Falls area. We are T Storm Chasers. We are located in South Dakota, so that is where we primarily focus our forecast on, is South Dakota, our Quad State area, Minnesota, Iowa, Nebraska, and South Dakota. For Sioux Falls, you can expect temperatures to warm up slightly tomorrow into the low 30s, and then look at what happens on Thursday. I think Sioux Falls could hit 50 on Thursday, and then we'll dip back a little bit on Friday, but still that's about 10 degrees above normal on Friday. We're still going to be above average for temperatures. And then next week, look at that, 40s and 50s return by the weekend into next week, and we'll see what happens middle of next week. There could be a disturbance pushing through, but overall, very, very mild forecast ahead. Overnight lows in the 20s and 30s, and again, we're not seeing much in terms of moisture. For the Aberdeen area, you can expect temperatures to be very similar to Sioux Falls. We're looking at, a warming trend the next couple of days. By Thursday, near 50 for Aberdeen as well, and then we'll dip back a little bit Friday, and then by your weekend, we're warming back up into the 40s. It's going to feel nice, and then early next week as well in the 40s, and then we might dip slightly by the end of that 10-day with a chance for perhaps a minor disturbance pushing through that could bring maybe some light snow. But overall, we don't see a whole lot here in the forecast for Aberdeen either. For the Pierre area, you can expect very mild weather overall the next couple of days. Look at Thursday, 60. That is definitely likely at this point. That's and then after that, warming, 40s and 50s this weekend. It's going to be very nice for Pierre, and then 40s and 50s early next week before we might cool down a little bit middle of next week with a chance for maybe some precip. And then for the Rapid City area, the warmest out of everyone. We're looking at a very mild forecast for Rapid City. 60s all the way from Thursday all the way through your weekend, through Monday. A very warm forecast for Rapid City before we might cool back down into the 40s by the end of that 10-day with chances of precip. So this was sponsored by the Black Venom Outdoors and the Gatekeeper Security and Fence. That's going to do it for this video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Smash that like button down below, and also drop a comment. We'd love to hear from you guys, and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. Don't forget to also check us out on Facebook, X, Instagram, and TikTok as well, as we are very active on those. Don't want to miss the content. And be safe out there as always. And that's going to do it for today. We'll be back for more videos tomorrow. Thank you guys for watching.